Squid Game, The Challenge, the new game show, reality show based on maybe the most popular Netflix series of all time, Squid Game. They dropped their first trailer the other day, and even I, as somebody who has not been excited about this show, must admit it really got me interested and kind of hooked in. Well, during our discussion about that, Ray Ora threw out a prediction. He said, Netflix isn't going to drop this all at once. He said they're going to do this as a week release, and he's kind of right. This comes to us from Digital Spy, who write the following. Squid Game, The Challenge has confirmed its release schedule, with Netflix revealing that the reality show will air over a 3-week period. In a new update, Netflix has confirmed that the episodes will be released on a weekly basis from November 22nd until December 6th, with the 10 installments, 10 episodes, being split across the 3-week period. It is currently unknown how many parts will air on each date. So clearly it's probably going to be, I'm guessing it's going to be 4, 3, and 3, or 4, 4, and 2, or something along those lines. Now, this is not new for Netflix. Netflix has kind of been playing around with these partial split up releases. Of course, traditionally Netflix just, a season of TV is coming out, they drop the entire season all at once, right? That's their tradition. But they've been playing in recent years with splitting things up. They did that with the final season of Lucifer. They did that with the last season of Stranger Things. They've also taken a couple of series and experimented with the weekly releases. I believe Arcane was also another one of those. By the way, my all-time favorite animated show, Arcane. I believe they dropped that in 3 installments. So they're going to do this with Squid Game, and it makes sense, right? You want to build up anticipation and drama, and then let people stew on it, talk about it, buzz about it for a week, and then drop the next set of episodes. We want to take a moment and thank the sponsor of this video, MasterClass. Guys, as a small business owner, I am finding myself having to be in negotiations all the time, whether it's with new contractors, vendors, or even agencies that represent our company. Now, I don't like to go into these negotiations unarmed, so I found the perfect class on MasterClass, The Art of Negotiation by Chris Voss, a real-life former FBI lead hostage negotiator. Taking this class on MasterClass made me feel a lot more equipped and confident going into all these various negotiations I have to do on a regular basis. With MasterClass, you can learn from the best to become your best anytime, anywhere, and at your own pace. An annual membership starts at just $10 a month, and you get unlimited access to every instructor, thousands of online lessons, exclusive content, insight, and much more. There are over 180 classes to pick from, everything from filmmaking with Martin Scorsese all the way to cooking with the great Gordon Ramsay. In MasterClass, you will find practical lessons that you can apply to your life and work. So guys, get unlimited access to every class, and right now, as a John Campea Show listener, you can get 15% off when you go to masterclass.com/Campea. That's masterclass.com/Campea for 15% off an annual membership. masterclass.com/Campea. Rob, I've been saying for a long time that I believe it is inevitable. Netflix will ultimately, whether it takes 2 more years, 3 more years, 4 more years, they're ultimately going to be going to a weekly release thing. All the stats have just proved that works better. Was this the right kind of show to take this approach with? What do you think?
Well, I think it is, because obviously this is a competition show, and by definition, who's going to win is built into the appeal of a program like this.
Yeah.
So if you were to drop it all at once, people would watch the last show just to spoil it.
Right.
That's the first thing that they would do. And I think that, for Netflix, this is like an eternity to string it out. It's as opposed to making it all just bingeable at once. And I do think, John, this has the potential. I mean, I really want to see it. It has the potential to be a water cooler show. I think people are going to get really into it. I think people are going to watch this and they're going to be like, who's going to win? They're going to have favorites. They're going to talk about it. At least now they can stretch that excitement out for a couple of weeks, because how much value does this show have in 6 months or a year from now? Right. Once everyone knows who wins. I mean, it's going to be really interesting. I mean, they'll never release the analytics, but it'd be interesting to see in 6 months or a year, what was the drop off like once people know the results. Are they, and once it's out who did win, will people still stick with it and watch the whole thing to the end?
See, that will all depend on how good the show is.
Yeah, absolutely.
And how engaged, how it unravels it. But while I think this is the right move for them, I actually still think it's a little bit of a missed opportunity, because when you're doing this reality-based game show based on the most popular thing you've ever put out, I really think they should have done this over more than just 3 weeks, maybe 5 weeks. I have 2 episodes 100%. At a time, because I think it's close to a guaranteed hit as you can get. I think this show's going to be a guaranteed hit for them.
I do too. And I think, what's interesting is the conversation around this is the kind of thing that garners subscribers.
Yes.
Once you start hearing the conversation around what's going on and, oh my God, you should see it, blah, 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 people are going to be like, oh, I guess I have to subscribe. And even though, churn is going to be a probably the norm when it comes to streaming, to know that this kind of thing can generate, I mean, I can't imagine a show that would get more subscribers than this, if it's good.
Did they give a reason why just the 3 weeks?
Nope.
Is there something? Because you know what? One of the best parts about a show like this is if it's good, after the first episode, you get a week to talk about it.
Yeah.
That's the big thing.
Spread the word. It starts building up, and then people are like, oh, maybe I got to subscribe and see this. You know what I mean? Maybe they churn to Netflix for...
Churn to Netflix. But this is consistent with Netflix's philosophy, that apparent philosophy of crawl, then take baby steps, then walk, then run. Because remember, they kind of did the same thing with Glass Onion, the Knives Out sequel, right? Like, instead of going full-fledged, which maybe they should have, but instead of going full-fledged theatrical releases, which is not something they normally do, they kind of went halfway. They gave it a 2-week release or something like that. And with stuff like this, I think we're going to see them for a year or two, or maybe even 3, doing these half-measured, like we've gone all at once, let's slowly build up. I don't necessarily agree with that philosophy, but the philosophy has its merits.
I go back to the problem that when wrestling was really popular, what they had Raw 1 week, right? And then you had to wait for the next one. Then they added SmackDown. And then you kind of felt oversaturated during the week because they had SmackDown and then another show on Saturday. I'm scared that's going to happen with this show. In 3 weeks, you have 3 episodes during that week. Where's the excitement in between?
Well, I mean, it's building up to it, though, right? Because you do have a winner at the end, so it's all going to be, let's see if this thing works for them. I absolutely think it's the right move compared to just dropping it all at once. I kind of think they should have spread out a little bit more, but let's see how well it works out for them. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.